Welcome back to another Fulhamish video. My name's Stephen and today we're going to be looking at all of the transfer business done by Fulham over the last summer, taking a closer look at our new signings and deciding whether Tony Khan has done a great job or not. So strap yourselves in, grab a cup of tea and let's go. So after years of what's fair to say outrage towards Tony Khan, a lot of Fulham fans have been left frustrated with the purchases that we've made, particularly on that promotion season where we spent £100 million and went straight back down again. And with 2 relegations to their name already, as Fulham fans it's very easy to get frustrated by our new chairman and his son. However, a lot's changed now, and over the last 2 seasons we've actually done some really good business. So whilst I'm sure there are other clubs saying that Fulham are buying the league, it really couldn't be much further from the truth. Simply put, we needed to have incomings, as last season we had so many loan players that we didn't have enough of a squad left to not make any signings at all this season. And I think it's been a very clever bit of business last year coming into this year too. So let's have a recap. Our first signing of the season was Paulo Gazzaniga on a free from Tottenham Hotspur when he became a free agent. Second of all, we signed Harry Wilson, a prolific winger and goal scorer who's going to add a huge dimension to our game as a dead ball specialist, a young creative player from Liverpool. But that's the only really bit of big spending we did. Following this, we signed Rodrigo Muniz for 7.2 million, a seemingly unknown player to most football fans here in England. And then, of course, on transfer deadline day, we had the likes of Nathaniel Chalobah signed for a small fee of £3 million, as well as Domingos Quina on a loan with an option to buy £5 million. So when you break that down, that's £23 million spent. Hardly bank-busting money, especially when you consider our outgoings. Leaving Fulham, we cashed in £3.15 million on the departure of Aboubakar Kamara to a Greek side. Our beloved Stefan Johansson went to QPR for £630,000, and Frank Zambo Anguissa joined Napoli on loan to help balance the wage books, and he wants to be playing in the top tiers of football, understandably. That loan has an option to buy of £15 million. We also got rid of Le Marchand to Strasbourg, and Bettinelli departed for Chelsea. And if Napoli do take up the option to buy on that Anguissa loan, that will be an incoming of £20 million from those transfers. So all in all, that's £4 million spent, which is nothing for a team who had lost all those loan players and are fighting for promotion upon the first time of asking. With the additional parachute payments too, it's fantastic to have a board that backs us financially. I don't think we're buying the league, but we certainly have a really strong squad. And let's not forget, 3 of these 5 signings haven't even played for us yet, when we're sitting top of the table looking more convincing than ever. And how refreshing is it as Fulham fans to just be brutally successful? We're playing beautiful football, achieving amazing results. It's 1 draw and 5 wins on the bounce when you include the Carabao Cup. And I know all us Fulham fans are terrified of feeling optimistic because it always goes wrong. However, at the moment, we're feeling better than ever before. We have to give credit to Shahid Khan for his amazing funding of our club, as well as having an eye for Marco Silva, who has proven to be an exceptional manager so far. And Tony Khan's business over the last couple of years has been much improved. As mentioned before, whilst we were relegated last season, we did have a fantastic team, and Parker probably should have kept us up with the squad that we had. So let's dive into some of that transfer business a little bit more. So at 12:30 on transfer deadline day, Fulham fans were kept up all night waiting to hear the announcements of the new Fulham signings. Every transfer deadline day is a dramatic one as a Fulham fan. Maybe our American owners just like to keep things exciting for us, but it was worth the wait as we signed 2 midfielders from Watford. So let's start with Nathaniel Chalobah. So for just £3 million, we've backed this versatile defensive midfielder. At the age of 26, it's a great 2-year deal with an option for the club to extend another year. While Chalobah has been out of the limelight a little bit over the last couple of years after a very promising start to his career, I feel like this is a really good move for us. He played his best football under Marco Silva for Watford many years ago, and before that he was capped 97 times for England across all age levels, which is supposed to be the most capped England youth player, if I'm not mistaken. So clearly there's a huge potential there, and perhaps over the last few years with injuries and maybe not the right style of football, the best version of himself hasn't been brought out. But as I say, he's worked with Silva before, he's versatile, can get back into centre-back, defensive midfield and attacking midfield, he's comfortable on the ball, he's loud and he wants to be a leader in the dressing room, which is exciting to hear. Bouncing off the back of that is the loan of Domingos Quina. This exciting attacking Portuguese midfielder is only 21 years old, and this loan move has given us the option to make the deal permanent at just £5 million. He started off at Benfica Youth, went across to Chelsea, and then made his senior debut for West Ham at just age 16 in the Europa League. We all know how much us Fulham fans love the Europa League. One day we'll be back. One day. Still waiting. Of course, he went on to Watford, where he made 37 senior appearances and spent half the season on loan at Granada in La Liga last year, where they finished a comfortable 9th place. Yeah, I'm talking about a 21-year-old here, and he's already got that much experience. And again, I'm going to go back to it. Under a manager like Silva, this fast-paced player with fancy footwork and a good eye for goal could provide some real excitement for us Fulham fans. I am concerned for our much-loved Tom Kearney. It seems to be his spots that we are filling with the likes of Carvalho and a signing like this. However, his injury has been causing a big issue. When will we see him again? Will we ever see him in a Fulham shirt again? I sincerely hope so, and I believe we will, but we are clearly planning for the future, which is something we haven't been great at over the years, so this is something that has to be done. Suddenly our central midfield is absolutely bolstered with fantastic options, and consider we haven't even had Harrison Reed back from injury yet. Carvalho has been a sensation. That's the last bit of business we need to nail down. We need to get Carvalho on a long-term contract. We've still got Josh Onoma. Seri's been absolutely brilliant, so we're now looking stronger than ever. Brushing over our other signings, we already know how great Harry Wilson is. He's already banging in the goals, and he's only played 3 or so games. I can't wait to see him get into those dead ball positions. I think £12 million is a fantastic amount for a player that can give us 5 years of incredible football. And then you add Rodrigo Muniz into the mix, keeping Alexander Mitrovic on his toes, who has hit form again, which is fantastic to hear. Muniz is a really exciting young prospect, and if he can replicate anything like Marco Silva's success with Richarlison, then we're going to have an absolute player on our hands. And finally, getting Paulo Gazzaniga on a free is sensational business. So early on in the window as well. Those free signings are fantastic, and the fact that we got them nice and early it's a big improvement on our previous seasons, especially last season where we were basically 5 games in before Anderson could start. And also the outgoings was very good. The Martian, Steph Joe, Cam, love or hate them, they were excess players in our bloated squad. And of course we all love Bettinelli, and none of us want to hear that he's gone to Chelsea, but at least he's got a big opportunity there, and hopefully he'll find a way to break through, as long as it's not against Fulham. And Anguissa, he made it very clear he wanted to leave at the start of the window. Whilst his keenness to move is disappointing, you can understand he's a big player. He needs to be playing in the top leagues. He's on big wages. But the contract extension was a brilliant piece of business. Getting him penciled down for a few extra years, meaning that if he returns to us, we can sell it for big money. We can keep him if we go straight back up to the Premier League, or activate that option to buy with Napoli, which will bring in a healthy 15 million. So overall, I think the Cards have done fantastic business this time around. In other Fulham news, tickets are now on sale for the Leeds Carabao Cup game. Do you think our current Fulham squad is better than our Premier League one? Or at least the style of football and the manager behind it? And if so, can we impact some damage against our Premier League challengers? It'll be interesting to see if both teams go with a strong squad. I personally hope we do half and half, because it would be lovely to beat Leeds, especially after they beat us 2-1 at home last season. And I believe our squad is good enough to do it. Again, this is a game that Rodak really has to start. But we've got a couple of weeks till then. And in other news, Nottingham Forest away game has been moved to the Sunday, in case you haven't seen that already. That's it from me today. Enjoy England's next couple of games. Make sure you read the article on Nathaniel Chalobah written by Ben Jarman on the Fulhamish website, as well as the article written on Domingos Quina by Dan Cook. Some fantastic details about both players, and I'll speak to you again soon. Come on, Fulham. Bye.